Welcome to Italy. Welcome to our Italy, the amazing village that my family and I have called home for almost 16 years now. And it's continuously gets better and better. It's a wonderful opportunity, I feel, for myself to be involved with our board members, with our mayor, continuing to see Italy move forward into the future. We're just so pleased that you all could attend tonight. We're honored to have some elected and appointed officials with us this evening. Captain John Larson from the Sheriff's Office. Town of Revenue Supervisor Sue Cranna. Dutchess County Historian William P. Tatum III. Dutchess County Legislator Nikki Strawinsky. Former Village of Tivoli Mayor Herb Mead. Another former Village of Tivoli Mayor Woody Neese.
We've got former Village of Tivoli Deputy Mayor Michael Lee. And former Dutchess County Legislator Ben Trett. At this point, I would like to ask the Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts from Pack 42 and Troop 42 to come forth to present the colors and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Very nice. I'd like you to please all remain standing for the singing of our national anthem performed by Rose Vigil.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. Then the rockets reply, the bombs bursting in air, came proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
You can be seated. Thank you, Rose. And you all may have noticed that Rose was playing a part as you entered the event this evening. We'd like to also thank Hannah Kupch and Una Lee for the group playing as you also entered this evening.
values and my tradition. The Spirit of God manifests in community. One of the ways it manifests to us is in community, through community, within, between, and amongst. And in community, we learn that we have our own ideas, but that we have to learn to empathize, sympathize with the ideas of people who disagree with us, and we have to work with them in order to create something that's more than just me or just me and you, but in fact is the community. And this community, this spirit that moves us in this direction, I think is an expression of the Spirit in our lives, of God in our lives. And I would like to offer prayer to the Spirit. Let us pray. Gracious Spirit of life, we ask you to be with us now. Help us to understand one another, to learn to put our own needs aside to the extent that we can work with others, and please guide us in the way of good decisions, right actions, and wise understanding of one another. We ask this in the name of your love. Amen.
Thank you, Jeannie. At this time, I would like to call Judge Howard Clark to the podium to administer the oath of office to Trustee Joel Griffith.
Raise your hand, repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Joel Griffith,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of New York,
the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of trustee
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of trustee
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
I state your name.
I, Jean Ann Schneider,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of New York,
the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of trustee
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of trustee
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you, Your Honor. It is now my pleasure, my honor, to introduce to you the Mayor of the Village of Tivoli, Brian F. Cranna.
You did very well. Before I offer opening remarks and before we get in with the business of this evening, first of all, having a nice round of applause for my colleague, Trustee Robin Bruno. Thank you very much. I kind of put her on the spot last night. Nice job. My sincere thanks and appreciation to our musicians in the back. Very nice, ladies. Thank you so much for being part of tonight. We appreciate it. And of course to the Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts from Pack and Troop 42. Nice job, gentlemen. You did very well. Before I give my state of the village, there is some housekeeping that the Village of Tivoli Board of Trustees must address tonight. And the first item on your agenda this evening is accepting the reorganizational packet for 2014 and 2015. At this point, I would entertain a motion to accept the reorganizational packet.
So moved.
A motion has been made by the Deputy Mayor. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion has been made in second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Opposed? The motion carries. The next item we must adopt tonight is the Code of Ethics for the Village of Tivoli. At this point, I entertain a motion to approve the Code of Ethics for 2014 and 2015.
So moved.
Motion's been made by the Deputy Mayor. Is there a second? Motion's been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Opposed? The motion carries. Thank you. Members of the Village Board of Trustees, Clerk Cranna, Deputy Clerk Roth, Judge Clark, Judge Ludwig, Supervisor Crane, Captain Watterson, residents of the Village of Tivoli. Tonight, I have the high honor of presenting to you the State of the Village of Tivoli. This is an annual event within our village, in which the mayor, as your chief elected official, stands before the legislative branch of the Village of Tivoli, but more importantly, stands before its residents to update you as to the progress that we have made together over the last year and what we will continue to do to continue moving Tivoli forward. But before I do that, I want to congratulate the Deputy Mayor and Trustee Schneider for taking your oaths this evening. I have to admit that I'm a bit biased with the Deputy Mayor and Trustee Schneider. I had the opportunity and the honor of appointing both of you to the office of trustee, and I think the results this evening stand for themselves. So once again, congratulations to both of you for taking your oath of office. You know, taking an oath of office is more than a piece of paper, an official piece of paper. It is really a promise and a commitment that one will discharge the duties of the office that he or she was elected to do. Those duties require more than attendance at meetings. To discharge one's duties means that one must see proven results for the betterment of those who place them in office. I stand by the appointments that I talked about recently, and the fact that you both have been returned to office this year without opposition speaks for itself. And I want to say what an honor it is to work with the two of you, to work with Trustee Bruno and Trustee Adrada. Let me begin tonight where I left off 2 years ago. 2 years ago, almost to this very day, I stood behind this podium, and I made a commitment that this village would not rest until the New York State Department of Transportation did what it was required to do, and to address the safety concerns at the intersection of 9G and Broadway. This was an issue I began discussing in 2009 prior to being elected as your mayor. I do not need to remind you of the recent tragedies that occurred within our village this year, but it is with the utmost relief that I say to you tonight that Albany has heard us and they've listened. I want to publicly acknowledge and commend Board President Leon Botstein for the admirable way in which he comforted and stood by his community during that tragic loss of two students. And President Botstein and the entire Bard College community is being represented this evening by the Dean of Campus Life, Bethany Nalgren. Bethany, thank you so very much for being here. With a sense of grace and leadership, President Botstein set the tone for a community whose spirit and strength were tested. I said at the time, and I say again to you tonight, Tivoli considers Bart a friend and a neighbor. And as such, I hope that there was some comfort in knowing that this village too shed tears, and that we too were rocked to our core during that horrific incident. When another tragedy fell this community not 2 months later, it was the result of an entire community. The entire community's effort and plea brought about the much needed and overdue attention that was necessary to prevent further losses and tragedies. I am grateful to the Bard College community, Dutchess County government, the town and village of Red Hook, our New York State legislative delegation, but most importantly, the more than 3,000 individuals within this village and beyond that called for action and demanded results. Together, we did it. And by Memorial Day of this year, a flashing caution light will be installed at the intersection. Let the legacies of those whose lives were cut short include the fact that a community demanded results in their honor to prevent others from ever suffering the same fate. When tragedies such as these occur, it is the responsibility of our first responders to be there to assess the situation, provide protection, begin life-saving measures, and put themselves in harm's way. Time and time again, the members of the Village of Tivoli Fire Department and Rescue Squad have done this. Never have these brave men and women thought twice about putting themselves on the front line. With courage, respect for the victim, and their commitment to their oath, the men and women of our fire department and rescue squad have earned an everlasting place in our village. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in thanking and acknowledging the men and women of the Village of Tivoli Fire Department and Rescue Squad. I also want to acknowledge Captain John Watterson of the Dutchess County Sheriff's Office. It was Captain Watterson's responsibility to call me when these tragedies occurred. With a sense of control and compassion, Captain Watterson relayed the details to me and briefed me on those horrific incidents. I will forever be grateful to you, sir, for the way in which you deliver the news, and I am extremely grateful for the friendship that we've established. Thank you, sir. It is no secret that Tivoli has experienced its share of water-related issues over the last year. Despite continued upgrades and routine inspections of our water and sewer system, Tivoli faced far too many water main breaks and leaks this year. Unfortunately, one major break occurred in the dark of night, with temperatures that did not rise above 6 degrees. While the village slept within the warmth and comfort of its home, our DPW, with ice forming around them, broke into frozen ground and fixed the problem. Without hesitation, Superintendent James Simmons and his crew worked through the night to repair the break and restore water service. Before I go on, please join me in thanking our DPW for their efforts that night and so many other times this season. Another break drained our water tower almost completely, putting a major risk upon our system. As your mayor, I have a responsibility to always do what I feel is in the best interest of our village. To leave this village in a better condition than when I was sworn into office is also my responsibility. And while others have talked about a plan to improve our water system, I am making a commitment to this board tonight that within 90 days I will present a water system improvement plan for your consideration. I have already begun a dialogue with the Dutchess County Water and Wastewater Authority to discuss options available to Tivoli under their authority. But we can no longer talk about a plan. We need results, and we need them now. I do believe that this village could be greatly assisted by bringing in a third party to address its water and sewer system. And while I know there will surely be skeptics about motive and decisions, I stand by my word. The only factor when making a decision is whether or not it is in the best interest of Tivoli. To make assumptions as to other motives is wrong and baseless. Under the leadership of Trustee Jean Ann Schneider, Tivoli has begun to evaluate the possibility of consolidating its highway department with the town and village of Red Hook. Thanks to a $79,000 grant award from Dutchess County's Department of Planning, Tivoli is looking at all options to determine if consolidating these departments will be cost-effective and, more importantly, provide a substantial improvement for highway services. Let me stress, before any decision at all to consolidate departments is made and or develop agreements to share services, it must be evident that Tivoli will not lose any service, but rather gain. We will ensure that Tivoli's unique character and small village feel is maintained. We will make certain that Tivoli's needs will be met and that agreements will be followed. Only then should this board and I consider such a matter. I want to thank Trustee Schneider for her efforts and her insight thus far into the study. To our colleague Supervisor Sue Crane, who joins us this evening, and my colleague Mayor Blundell from the Village of Red Hook, I'm proud to call you both friends, and I continue to be impressed by the commitment the two of you have to those you represent. I'm confident that we will together come to a conclusion that is in the best interest of those we represent. When I first campaigned for the office of mayor, I made a commitment that I would open the lines of communication from Village Hall to the government. I am proud to say that we have kept that commitment, and we continue to improve upon our transparency. A quarterly newsletter is sent out to all residents, keeping them abreast of village activities, events, and other pertinent information. Regular electronic updates are provided on an array of information that residents should be aware of. I have directed our village treasurer, Linda Ganella, to place the village's adopted treasurer's report on our village webpage each month. This practice allows residents to see where every dollar and cent of their tax money is being spent. This is the same report that the Board of Trustees sees on a monthly basis. Never a trustee nor resident should ever wonder what the fiscal situation is of the village. The information is there for all to see, and the numbers don't lie. I do not keep information from those I serve nor serve with. So when comments are leveled that sweeping changes are made without knowledge and or communication, I respectfully disagree. I will continue to keep this village and its officials abreast of information that I feel is vital for the village's success. What one does with that information is up to them. Keeping another commitment, Tivoli is a walking community. Therefore, residents and visitors should be able to walk safely, throughout our scenic community. I am pleased to announce that we kept our commitment. Under the direction of Deputy Mayor Griffith, Tivoli has replaced several sidewalks throughout the village this past summer. But we're not done. In working with our village engineer, Morris Associates, we will soon redesign and refurbish the Four Corners intersection. We will remove the sinking bricks and allow for a more welcoming appearance to our village. Trustees Schneider and Bruno have also been working with our village engineer to develop a sidewalk down to the river's edge from the intersection of Broadway and Woods Road. In addition, new sidewalks will also be developed along Montgomery Street, allowing better access to Tivoli Bays. New crosswalks will be placed in front of Village Hall to allow families and children better access onto Pine Street and into our park. We made a commitment to you that we would improve our infrastructure, and we're doing exactly that. I am very proud to work with a dedicated group of individuals, both in elected office and appointed. And I'm pleased that the Board of Trustees has approved the organizational packet this evening, granting residents the opportunity to serve and continue serving on various boards and committees. I respect greatly the time and energy that all give to their positions and the shared commitment to bettering our community. Tivoli is very fortunate to have residents who care about the future of Tivoli, and I look forward to working with all of you, listening to your suggestions and putting Tivoli at the forefront to ensure that it continues to be the wonderful place it is to live in, raise a family in, visit, and work in. I am grateful to all of you, and with that in mind, I'm a firm believer that communication must be a two-way street. Therefore, tonight, I am announcing the Mayor's Citizens Cabinet, incorporating neighbors from various parts of our village. This cabinet will meet regularly with me to discuss an array of issues that impact Tivoli. Receiving impact and honest feedback from those we represent can only be a benefit. I want to acknowledge those who have agreed to serve on this committee: Christine Houlihan, Jeff Scales, George Herrard, who will represent the Bard College community, Vin Roca, Leslie Baker, and Emily Major. Your feedback on all village activities will be another tool in keeping that commitment that Tivoli is listening. With those of you, please stand, that will now serve on the Mayor's Advisory Cabinet. I really appreciate you stepping forward. Thank you very much. 3 years ago, during my first address as your mayor, I spoke of a plan for Tivoli to develop a community garden within Memorial Park. I saw this garden as a tool to improve our park, which had been neglected for far too long. Little did I know what started out as here comes Joel. What started out, I really messed up that. I apologize, Joel. What started out as an idea would blossom, how's that? Would blossom into a successful and popular community effort. The deputy mayor and his army of green thumbers are to be commended for developing, building, and maintaining this new Tivoli treasure. With annual improvements and a waiting list to receive a plot, Tivoli's community garden has become a major success within our new and greatly improved Memorial Park, and I really appreciate all the efforts you put forth on that.
You plan to see it?
Look at that, another pun! We're full of it tonight, folks. As we discuss Memorial Park, I want to personally acknowledge Trustee Robin Bruno for her steadfast efforts in ensuring Tivoli's Park received the facelift we committed to when we first sought office. With an army of volunteers, $100,000 in grant funding, and Trustee Bruno's vision, Tivoli's Memorial Park is once again becoming the centerpiece of our village. This summer, the Tivoli Summer Camp and Tivoli Free Library will work collaboratively to offer additional services and activities to our campers. Thanks to a grant that the library received, Campers will attend library functions as an extension of our camp. We're very excited and proud to see Tivoli's summer camp grow and to work more closely with our Tivoli Library. And at this point, I would like to add Trustee Bruno to join me at the podium. This is my favorite part of the State of the Village because I get to give out awards to people who have earned them. This is the 2014 Victory Achievement Award, presented to the Honorable Robin Bruno, Trustee of the Village of Tivoli, New York, in recognition of her vision and steadfastness to improve Tivoli's Memorial Park for its children and families. The Victory Initiative endeavors to create an atmosphere of mutual respect, youth empowerment, and trust. Trustee Robin Bruno, with compassion and care, took great pride in seeing the complete redesign of Memorial Park. By embracing a volunteer-based strategy, Trustee Bruno sought and received the assistance of many and encouraged the community to once again take pride in its park, and those results speak for themselves. Realizing the void that was created when Tivoli's summer recreation program was suspended in 2010, Trustee Bruno led the effort to not only reinstate the program, but expanded upon it to make it a summer camp. Tivoli's children, again, have a summer recreation camp in their park, in their community. Trustee Bruno's commitment to those she serves and her desire to better the community she and her family call home is commendable. Special recognition is hereby extended to Trustee Robin Bruno. We have become true partners as together we declare victory. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and signature, Brian F. Cranna, Mayor of the Village of Tivoli. Congratulations. Congratulations. Earlier this year, Tivoli lost a true gentleman and a dedicated resident. Bernie Teeger served this village as its official historian. Bernie Teeger dedicated most of his life to educating others, whether in the classroom, in the written word, or simply sharing a story about Tivoli's rich history. Bernie's commitment to ensuring others knew of the treasures that existed within Tivoli's past was constant. On behalf of the residents of the Village of Tivoli and village personnel, our heartfelt condolences once again to Bernie's wife Trish and his entire family. Let it be said that Bernie Teeger himself has earned a place within Tivoli's history books and will be remembered as a true gentleman. In an effort to honor Bernie's memory and to ensure that others are aware of his commitment and contributions to this village, I am pleased to announce tonight that a commemorative plaque will be placed on Tivoli's historic stone bridge in honor of this dedicated resident. Let those who enter our village over this bridge know of the history that exists within its boundaries and know that the history has been preserved for generations to come. In an effort to beautify our village last year and welcome residents and visitors to our community, under the direction of the Deputy Mayor and his Green Committee once again, Tivoli began to plant flowers and other plantings at the Four Corners intersection. However, the plantings were just the first part. Maintaining these plantings as a welcoming sign took effort. Jeanette Cannaday was instrumental in ensuring that the intersections and its new flower beds would be cared for. With watering can in hand, Jeanette provided the constant care and attention that the intersection needed. We are extremely grateful to Jeanette for her efforts and dedication to her community. Jeanette saw a need and she stepped up. Jeanette defines the word citizen and Tivoli is better for it. Jeanette's unable to be here tonight, but would you please join me in thanking Jeanette? Hopefully she'll see this on Panda. Jeanette, thank you very much. I know I'm in trouble for this next one, but at this point I'd like to ask our clerk, Linda Ganella, to join me at the podium. You can just see it in her eyes, folks. This is the Alan T. Covert Award for Character for 2014. Whereas communities are fortunate to have dedicated individuals who believe it is their responsibility to assist their community leaders and residents to always make that community a better place. And whereas Alan T. Covert was such an individual, with respect and appreciation for the community he called home, Alan T. Covert for years played an intricate part of Tivoli's revitalization. And whereas Alan T. Covert made it his personal goal to help beautify our village and help to define the strong sense of community that exists within Tivoli. And whereas Linda Ganella takes pride in her responsibilities as our village clerk and treasurer, always ensuring that the village of Tivoli's best interest is being considered. And whereas Linda Ganella has taken the initiative on various projects and tasks, which has made Tivoli a better place. And whereas Linda Ganella has time and time again kept elected and appointed officials abreast of pertinent information, therefore allowing them better resources to perform their duties. Now, therefore, I do hereby proclaim that the Village of Tivoli, New York, commend and express its extreme gratitude to Linda Ganella for her efforts to ensure that the community that she and her family call home is stronger than how they found it, and for the character she defines. For her contributions to Tivoli, New York, the Alan T. Covert Character Award is hereby presented to the Village of Tivoli Clerk Linda Ganella. In witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand and signature, Brian F. Cranna, Mayor of the Village of Tivoli. The funny thing is, Linda always does the awards, so I was waiting for her to call me and say, Mr. Mayor, when are we supposed to do the awards? But I managed to sneak one by you. I want to again thank the Board of Trustees for their service to our village. We may not always agree, nor do we come to a decision using the same path. But I am convinced, I am sincerely convinced that all members of the Board of Trustees and I share a common goal, and that is what is in the best interest of those who entrusted us with their representation. To our village attorney, Christine Shaw, who's here with us tonight, I can't do this job without you, so I'm looking forward to working with you once again. So, Counselor, thank you so much for being here tonight and always being by our side. It means a great deal to me. To Judge Clark, Judge Ludwig, and Clerk Malinsky, the respect and honor that you have for the justice system, you have earned a reputation as a fair and honest court. And in my opinion, the Village of Tivoli Court is a very qualified court, and that is something that you have proven time and time again. Judge, Your Honor, thank you very much for being here. To our Department of Public Works, under the supervision of James Simmons, my sincere appreciation and thanks for the task that they do year-round. After a long winter and incidents that were unforeseen, without complaint, they were there. To my team at Village Hall, Clerk Ganella and Deputy Clerk Roth, I said 3 years ago that I could not do this job without you. You've earned my respect time and time again, and it is an honor to work with you. I respect the work that you both do, and your work ethic is second to none, and I need you by my side. To my family, to my wife, to my children, to my parents and my in-laws, I also can't do this job without the support of my family, and my parents and my in-laws. Thank you so much. I wouldn't be standing here without all of you. Let me end tonight where I left off 3 years ago, with a promise that I would not let you down. You have my word that I work every day to keep that promise. You and I may not always agree on every decision, but I assure you the success and future of this village is always at the forefront of my mind when I make a decision that represents you and your family. May God bless you, and may He continue to look down and bless this village we so proudly call home. Thank you, and good night.
I'd like to take a moment to say thank you to all of you for attending this evening's event. It's always a wonderful pleasure to have folks, visitors, and not to mention our residents of Tivoli here. And my thanks to Mayor Cranna for his goals and his mission. It's tremendous, and I think we're all very fortunate to have him.
have cookies.